Now, ladies and gentlemen, understand something. It's not that there is not a conservative movement. And I'm not trying to be tricky here. The theory is not that there's not a conservative movement. The theory is that it's not conservatism which unites the movement. There's a group of people out there that you would think, looking at them, listening to them, they're conservative, the way they vote. But it's not conservatism that is uniting them or motivating them. This is what everybody is missing in Washington. Remember, it goes back to the fact, in Washington, Republican establishment central, even after the two midterm elections, 2010, 2014, they still don't get that the primary motivating characteristic of Republican voters this time around is an absolute direct opposition to the left, to the Democrat Party, to Obama, and everything has been going on the last 7 years. They want it stopped and reversed. And they will go anywhere if they are convinced whoever's telling them they're going to stop it is telling them the truth. They don't have to be conservative. They don't even have to be Republican. As long as they're good populists and can espouse nationalism, it's not conservatism making them go there. This is what everybody's misunderstanding about whatever coalition Trump has put together. But anyway, back to the MSNB soundbite. Here's number one. Number two, here is the whole thing. They're discussing the meaning of the Palin endorsement, what it says about the Republican Party, conservatism, and so forth. Here are both bites. The whole thing is going to run here probably about 50 seconds. The first bite, and I'll have to come back after this and give you the question that sets up the second one.
For decades, you've had Rush Limbaugh and this sort of conservative entertainment complex holding together these various wings of the party as if there was a core belief in a set of specific conservative values among the base. When it turns out what the base wants is a feeling that can be delivered by Rush, but some policies that are an apostasy to movement conservatives.
So what she's saying is that there are a bunch of conservatives, supposed conservatives, that'll call themselves conservatives, but they will do things that the conservative movement doesn't understand while calling themselves conservative. The point is, it's a conservative movement, but it is not glued together. You're not unified by conservatism. Now, up next, the host of the show asked a question of this guy, Rick Wilson, a Republican consultant. He said, there's this piece today in a magazine called The Week where he looked at this Samuel Francis, a white supremacist guy who started out mainstream conservative, was an advisor to Patrick Buchanan. He said that your best path, Republicans' best path, get rid of all the conservatism stuff, get rid of all the limited government deficits, get rid of capitalism, stop talking about that, and just go whole hog on nationalism. What do you think of that, Rick?
That's absurd. I think that there is definitely still a very significant portion of the party that is a limited government conservatism-based faction of the overall coalition. Now, the screamers and the crazy people on the alt-right, as they call it, who love Donald Trump, who have plenty of Hitler iconography in their Twitter icons. But the fact of the matter is most of them are childless single men who masturbate to anime. They're not real political players. These are not people who matter in the overall course of humanity.
There is a ranking member of the Republican establishment categorizing Trump supporters as the screamers and crazy people on the right with lots of Hitler iconography in their Twitter icons. But the fact of the matter is, most of them are childless single men who masturbate to anime. What's that, a Japanese cartoon character? Style. And so there you have the Republican establishment view of the typical Trump supporter. He said the alt-right. Yeah, he said that the crazy people on the alt-right, as they call it, who love Donald Trump, the screamers and all that. At any rate, that's why I lifted the ban. I wanted you to hear that. We will be back after this. Don't go away.